Well, it was promised to be a black utopia, but survivors say it turned into something far more sinister. Back in 2016, a rising social media star named Elegio Bishop, also known as Nature Boy, recruited followers into a group called Carbon Nation. Well, he encouraged them to abandon their families and join his alternative lifestyle community. But it devolved into an environment marked by manipulation and escalating violence. And it's all documented in the latest ABC News Studios docuseries, The Cult of Nature Boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you've been hiding under a rock for the last few days, there was a new docuseries that premiered on the 28th of April, and it's called The Cult of Nature Boy, as I'm reading here. And again, fair use to ABC News. The Cult of Nature Boy examined a new docuseries. Now, in this video right here, there is a woman that went inside this cult, I believe, to document some of the behavior and some of the activities that was going on inside this cult. And I believe there's also a victim or two that's now speaking out because of the release of this docuseries. Now, I'm going to do a series on this. There's a 4-part series on Hulu, and I will document this for member only. Shout out. I'm going to do a series review for member only. But Elegio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, came from the same tree as Umar Johnson and Brother Polite and other people that came through the conscious community via, I believe, Sonnetter on YouTube. His channel's still up. And well, of course, more manipulation, more scamming, more abuse and things like that coming from the B1 community. And that's not to say that all of them are like that, but some of the more prominent ones, some of the big names that have come through the conscious community, unfortunately have turned out to be evil people. And Nature Boy is one of them. He is now doing a long prison sentence for a plethora of charges. I think he almost got life in prison. Let me check it out. Hold on a second.
I had an ADHD moment. I had an ancestral diversion for higher development. What was I saying?
Yes, his lengthy prison sentence was indeed, as I'm reading here from Google, Elegio Bishop, the self-proclaimed cult leader known as Nature Boy, was sentenced to life in prison without parole plus 10 years in March of 2024. A Georgia jury found Bishop guilty on charges including rape, false imprisonment, and posting revenge porn related to his leadership in the group Carbon Nation. And there is a list of some of his charges and things that he was charged with in detail. So we're going to get into this review here, or this interview that she had with some of the people that was involved in this docuseries. Again, fair use to ABC News. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to further contribute to the channel, please hit the join button down below to become a part of the members union. All right. And so you can see my docuseries review here. Also, hit that hype button if you will, please. That would boost me in the algorithm. And hit the Cashapp. $, Mr. Normie. Let's listen to ABC News break down a little bit of this docuseries.
Been doing for the last 4 years? I was in a cult, man. Who am I?
Nature Boy.
Nature Boy. Nature Boy. You know this is not how life's supposed to be.
Where Nature Boy is, that's where I'll find my truth.
I am your messiah. Bow to me. What in the world is going on here?
Something was screaming at me, no, but I ignored it. There was brainwashing, mind manipulation. He was king, he was God.
Whoa. Joining me now, Chantel Coleman, the internet detective who actually documented Nature Boy's abuse for years and played a key role in taking him down. And we also have Janae Newell, a former member of Carbon Nation. Great to have you both. Janae, I want to start with you because you have been outspoken about surviving this cult. What do you think, and I don't mean to be so direct, but we are very curious, the worst part of your journey, you know, the part when you had a wake-up call that something wasn't right?
I would say the worst part of my journey is not only seeing myself lose myself, but seeing others lose themselves as well. Is it coming in clear?
Oh, yes. We've got you coming in very clear. Go ahead.
Now, by the way, Nature Boy had these women doing horrible things themselves. I saw videos where he had women fighting each other. I believe he had men manipulating men into performing certain acts on each other, aka other men. And of course, women on women and vice versa. Of course, he was also, doing bad things to these women, manipulating them and physically abusing them and things like that. And again, man, cults. This stuff gradually happens over time. It's not like one day they come in and this automatically they get done stuff to them. It's a very slow process of manipulation and influence and peer pressure and things like that. And eventually they succumb to, not putting it, kind of satirically, but they succumb to his will eventually. And plus, after that, then things are forced on you, and it's a sad cycle. I'm glad these women were able to get out of it, but unfortunately, there are still some people, as you will see here momentarily, there are some people that still follow him from prison.
Continue. Tell us about what you experienced.
Thank you. I've experienced multiple signs of abuse. I've experienced mass manipulation around not just my own mind. I've seen other minds being taken over as well. I have experienced emotional abuse. I've also experienced physical abuse, not by him, but by the members. I've seen a lot of things and experienced a lot of things that not only tarnished my soul, but just helped me to understand that this wasn't the right path for me. And it made me feel like I had to stand up and fight and be a voice for what the right path is instead of what it's not.
Well, it sounds like,
yeah,
it sounds
I
like
did not
you
like the abuse at all.
Well, you turned a horrible situation clearly into something very positive, clearly a lot stronger now because of it. And I want to ask you more about what you experienced. But Chantel, I'm just curious, how did you originally come across Nature Boy online and then, notice and document the abuse that you were seeing?
Completely by.
Oh, by the way, I want to put some respect on this brother's name. Shout out to Hood Horrors. He has, I think, like a 20 or 30 part series on Nature Boy. He also has one on Brother Polite. And in my opinion, it was very insightful. I hope they do a documentary on Brother Polite, but of course, he wasn't as big as the name as Nature Boy. But to put some respect on this YouTuber's name, he has documented a lot of things that had to do with Nature Boy before this docuseries even came out. But of course, this one is mainstream, so we're going to cover it as well. But I just want to put that out there. If people don't have Hulu accounts, you can also go to this brother's page, and he will also give you a lot of insight into the cult that was Carbonation and Nature Boy.
Accident. I stumbled across a debate video on YouTube. He was in a jungle setting with a bunch of followers behind him. And something about that dynamic immediately caught my attention. I have a degree in psychology that I never used, but something absolutely clicked. My mother is a social worker. She has always instilled values within her children of empathy and compassion. And I knew something was off just due to the control. And beyond anything I'd ever imagined, just what I saw, I knew that something was wrong, just the way that he controlled them.
Did you find it odd that you were able to watch this?
Yes, absolutely. And that is why I took that opportunity to start archiving this cult. I figured that at some point in the future, they might end up being studied in college classrooms. I never recalled us really going over cults in college. It was always, serial killers and things of that nature. But I knew that at some point, the fact that he was documenting all of his live streams on a daily basis, sometimes 24 hours a day.
Yes, he was. I mean, again, we hear about the cults of the guy that was drinking the Kool-Aid, and we had the one that was in Waco and how that turned out. And luckily, fortunately, Nature Boy was caught before he had a drastic, event like some of these other people have. So I'm glad this guy was caught before something bad happened. But again, he was on YouTube like multiple times a day. He was streaming this stuff on Instagram and YouTube, and you can see how he was aggressive on these videos. A lot of people didn't see the inside of what was going on, but Nature Boy sometimes would be kind, sometimes he'd be very forceful. It just depended on what was going on, what he was trying to teach that day. I mean, this guy was to be honest, on social media, he was like a loose cannon.
This was an opportunity that I needed to take to archive this just in case. And I never expected that it would culminate to what it eventually did.
Wow. So, Janae, explain to us, the recruitment process and tactics. How were you drawn in? What made you believe in this cult in the first place?
Well, prior to joining the cult, you have to go through an initiation process. Like 30 to 90 days, you're supposed to isolate yourself from your family, from your friends, from society in the whole entirety, and just basically watch his videos. You're watching his videos, you're listening to the music that the cult produced, you're listening to everything that he says and doing everything that he do. You're supposed to be doing like things like going out into nature and also taking your things out into nature, living out in nature, sleeping out in nature. But not only that, proclaiming the kingdom of God, basically taking yourself on video and taping yourself, talking exactly what he's saying. So That was basically the initiation process. You had to separate yourself from everything and everyone that you loved.
Sounds like that's the first sign.
And saturate your mind.
Yeah, that someone knows that, well, that someone should realize this isn't right. You know, anything that is healthy, you don't cut yourself off from everybody that you love. Did you think that you were going to find something? Were you looking for something? What were you searching for? Was it meaning? Was it community? What was it you were struggling with where you felt this could be the answer for you?
It was purpose. It was calling. It was wanting to something to believe in, of course. I wanted to believe in myself more and feel more empowered.
And a lot of these people, they got into these cults because, Nature Boy was speaking, I would say, positive things about the black community. Of course, he was part of the B1 community before he started this cult. But a lot of people, they join these cults for different reasons, and it doesn't start out as a cult. They don't think it's a cult in the beginning, but once they get out of it, if they get out of it, then, of course, they understand what they was really into. But like she said, purpose, belonging, wanting something to believe in, some type of direction these people are looking for. And so they go to these people because they're saying the things they want to hear. Same thing as you go to a church, right? And so you put your trust in these individuals that they will lead you down a path of righteousness and purpose. But what they're really doing is they're leading you into a house of horrors.
And with this group, it was basically promoting empowerment, and not just empowerment for all people, but especially for the melanated people, people of color. Around that time, we were definitely being killed left and right, and I just wanted to be a part of something that was positive and showing that the world can be a wonderful place.
And of course, like she said, then during that time, people were being deleted left and right. She's talking about police brutality and things like that, racism, right? The gotcha. So these people are trying to join a organization or a group of people that will be a more positive influence that will help out the black community. And again, just like Umar Johnson, just like Brother Polite and other people. They're trying to join these people so that way maybe they can somehow do their part to help the black community. And they end up seeing that these people are not only hurting the black community, but they're just monsters, okay? And they're using these people's hope for a better future against them. And it's sad.
We just live properly and naturally, a part of nature. So I was searching for communion, but also being in purpose.
Chantel, what's the latest on Nature Boy? Have you heard from him or his followers recently?
I have. They've been active. I've been engaging them as of yesterday. So they are still active. Nature Boy is finding ways to still communicate with followers. He's still finding ways to get his followers to recruit from prison. We've had to contact the Georgia prison multiple times to get him off of live streams that he's been doing from his prison cell. So we know where he lives. We know the entire setup. But we are keeping tabs on him because his recruitment process is very damaging and it's very dangerous. And I just really hope that people take away from this that they need to know with their young adults, their young kids, their, whatever age range, because he's able to capture, to Janae's point, the minds of people of all diverse age range. But he's still active. He's just not as active as he once was, and he never will be.
Well, Chantel, we know you will stay on the story. It's incredible work exposing this. And Janae, you are a true survivor and such a good spokesperson for what it means to go through something like this and come out stronger than ever. I appreciate both of you ladies very, very much.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, it was promised.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This man, I don't know where he got his playbook from. But of course, he did the same thing that some of these other people do. Isolate you from your family, try to ingratiate them heavily into their culture and their ways of doing things. And even though it might start out being weird, they end up normalizing this toxic behavior. And so there goes the cult. There goes the things that will eventually tear them all apart and have them, out of their minds. And before you know, you wake up one day and you're like, what the hell am I doing? But at that point, it's too late because you're mentally and emotionally trapped. Maybe not physically, but then he sends people after you and things like that, just like the other people, the Kool-Aid man and the guy from Waco. Okay, I'm not going to say their names, but you understand what's going on here, right? Elijah Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, is in prison doing life, and he's still reaching out from prison to get people in. He still has people following him and recruiting people into this cult from beyond his freedom outside the prison gates. It's sad, but like I said, he's preying on people's, and I mean praying, P-R-E, preying on people's hopes for a better future, hope for the black community, hopes for black empowerment, things like that. He's using this hope and purpose and righteousness for these people want internally against them. So I'm gonna break this stuff down. I'm going to watch this series over the next few days, and I will be reporting back on members only. So again, join the members only if you want to check out and see what's going on. And with all that being said, thank you for attending another episode of the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about Nature Boy. Did you watch that trial he had? It was quite insightful, the stuff that they were talking about he was doing from behind closed doors. Some of the women that he got pregnant, the stuff that he was doing to them, some of the male victims, what he had them doing to the other women in the cult and to themselves, and some of the stuff he was doing to the women and to people that were of legal age as well. Let me know what you think about that down in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell to be out of the door. Nature Boy, if you ever see this video, man, remember, brother, reality checks are free. See you next time.